tonight on BBC One. At 7 o'clock, Tomorrow's World includes a look at the dangers of driving.
Barry, I've commandeered a vehicle.
The old trick, eh? Eat the telly before I get a chance to nick you.
It's a toaster. Dalek, you have been defeated. Surrender. You have failed.
Insufficient data.
Nazi ain't got no humanity. They're the foot soldiers of a Jew-hating, mass-murdering maniac, and they need to be destroyed. That's why any and every sumbitch we find wearing a Nazi uniform, they're gonna die.
Is this world protected? But you're not the first lot to have come here. Oh, there have been so many. And what you've got to ask is, what happened to them?
Hello. I'm the doctor.
Yes, indeed, yes, indeed. Good evening, good morning. I hope you're all doing well wherever you are. I'm sorry I was slightly tardy, she cried. No, I thought I was, I get clips before the show of stuff we're going to watch. I just got sucked into one, right? I was trying to find a better quality, not better quality, a better, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, the clip I have of Trump meeting with the hostages, which is shocking and awful, is there's like sad music they put on it. I'm like, I don't think it really needs the sad music, right? I think that's overkill, frankly. By the way, I'll return to this because I'll give it a shout out later on there to make sure there's no identifying information. Look what somebody sent me, right? Look what somebody sent me. It is so nice. Like here. Oswald Biscuit sent to me. I was looking for him on. I got this just on my Tuesday stream, so I was looking for him in the chat. I didn't see him, so I'm giving up. Right, I'm giving up. I'm just saying. He found this. Right, he sent this to me. It is no, okay. So what happened is my wife comes over and said, "You got a package." I'm like, "Oh, really? Okay." So I open it up. I'm like, and my wife looks. She's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "It's from somebody watches my YouTube channel." Right, that was the Doctor Who companion from 1971 to 1973, right? Joe Grant, in a bit of a unconventional pose. So he said, "Hi, sir, I saw this and thought of you." Well, thank you very much. None of the Perry, unfortunately. Well, that is, oh man, if only. Nicola's not into that kind of gas pose. I don't know. I reckon Nicola is insane in bed, right? I reckon she strikes me as being a little bit crazy, right? Which you want? It certainly changed my mind about Joe Grant, though. Oh, no, I always knew about this. There are 3 or 4 other prints with posing you with the Dalek. I got enclosed in the shops card. Well, thank you very much, Osborne. Well, I was like, you're not going to hang that up, are you? No, it's okay. No, I'm just going to, put it in a brown paper bag and take it to the bathroom. Nothing weird about that, darling. Nothing weird, right? It's totally normal. It's all groovy, baby. Anyway, thank you very much. That was really nice. I like stuff, right? I am a bit of a fan of stuff. Man, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. I watched what's it? Not Deadpool, Daredevil, right? Daredevil, meh, right? Meh. It's how I would describe. It's yeah, it's still Disney. You can't take Disney. You can't de-Disneyfy it. It still reeks of Disney, and it reeks of desperately trying to cover it up so that it was complete Trump derangement syndrome, which it appears to be, right? Which it totally appears to be. Man, I got to stay off Facebook. Oh fuck me! Ever since they changed the algorithm, I've had a headache. I got to stop getting involved. Right? I literally broke people's minds with it. Somebody posted on Facebook. I didn't even know it was. Said if you still like Donald Trump, Still, why? So I'm like, well, there's this and this and this, and I like everything he's doing. It's all awesome, baby. But here's the thing. The anti-Trump people, they're the weird conspiracy theorists now in a cult. It's really bizarre how that's happened, right? So strange. It's there was a movie called How to Get Ahead in Advertising. I don't think it had not Hugh Grant, it had Richard E. Grant in it, but I don't think it had Paul McGann in it. And it was like the follow-up to With Nail and I, which most people know. Yeah, that's why most people expected Richard E. Grant to be the Doctor. I'm somewhat surprised it turned out to be Paul McGann. Although Richard E. Grant was the Doctor. Was it before? Yeah, no, after Paul McGann. All right. I honestly, meh. I mean, he's the best of the fake Doctors that I've seen. If I put him, Jodie, Tennant 2, and Nakuti, as he's now known apparently, or Nashuti, I can't do it. Uti, whatever it is. He's definitely the best. 100%, definitely the best. But yeah, no, he's he was good. Anyway. With How to Get Ahead in Advertising, it's like a railing against the late 80s capitalist corporate greed, of which there was a lot, because there was a lot of money there, thank you, the Iron Lady, and everyone was doing rather well, right? But so there was this advertising agent played by Richard E. Grant, right? And he had a mole on his neck, as I recall, and it started to grow a mouth, and then it started talking to him, and then it sort of like got bigger and bigger and grew into his face, right? And it like became a copy of it. It's like an evil version of him. And eventually it got so big, he was going to get it lanced and destroyed, right? And it got so big, right? It became huge, and it made him the mole on it. And he's the one who got lanced, and he was going to die in a couple of days. Bit dark, really, bit dark. But anyway, that's what it's like with like the anti-Trumpers now. They're like, I mean, like, they are so crazy. They are so crazy. And it's not like, but the great thing is, it's like Doctor Who in 2005 when it came back and everybody loved it. Like now, suddenly everybody agrees with us, right? It's so weird. Like, oh, those guys are messed up. So much has happened. I nearly actually did a stream yesterday, an impromptu stream, because Trump did. It's not a State of the Union. It will be State of the Union if he had concurrent terms, it would be State of the Union. But when it's the first address to Congress of a new president, which 47 is, then it's an address to Congress. Holy crap! I mean, honestly, it was like an hour and 40 minutes long. I very nearly did a stream going over everything, like watching the whole stream with you and like commentating on it, right? Because it just every bit of it was sheer gold, right? Absolute sheer gold. But the best thing is the Democrats who are in free fall. I mean, they really, and they're doing badly, or like because of this, they're already doing so in polling. And a CBS poll, CBS YouGov poll, which they're not Donald Trump fans. Trump got a 76% approval rate for this speech, which is very high. And they did a sampling of, a random sampling of America. Only 20% people are identifying as Democrats now, right? That's really, it's like they're imploding. They're imploding in a way that you never really thought was possible. But yeah, they are totally imploding. Anyway, let's look at we'll look at the highlight reel. But I do actually have I nearly did, like, it would have been a 3-hour stream. I couldn't do it. We have the highlights here. This is the highlights one. What else? I've got so much stuff. The AI stuff is going to blow your mind. Holy crap! When you see the AI stuff, I'm going to show you. It's going to blow your absolute mind. It is freaking incredible. Here, I think.
The President of the United States.
The Americans love their pomp and ceremony. They really do, because I guess they have less history, so they're very, very precious of all of it. But this was like a WWE, this was like a WWE rally, right? Kind of thing. It was off the charts, mate.
We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years.
In their entire terms, right? It's cray, right? The amount is, I guess, which is, I think, the reasons why they're freaking out. They're in meltdown, right? Again, any anti-Trump force is in meltdown.
8 years, and we are just getting started. We won the.
They really are. Honestly, nothing else matters apart from the economy now. If his plan for the economy backfires, he's fucked. Right? Like, if he turns the economy around before the midterms, he is golden. Absolutely golden. Then you can't. That's everything. And it's going to turn around a good 6 months before election. People are going to be feeling good by this time next year. Right? Honestly, I think it's going to happen.
Popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
Yeah, again, a lot of this was like rubbing it in Democrats' face, but I think they needed it. I mean, God, these people have been awful. They've been absolutely awful. They really needed to be we're coming up to Passover in about 5 weeks, right? Big deal, Passover, and we read this book called the Haggadah on the first night if you live outside of the first 2 nights. And you have like a festive meal around it. It's like an educational story about the Exodus. But there's one bit in it where you talk about the 4 different sons. There's the 4 different types of learners, right? And you get the one who's full of shit, right? The snarky one. The one who's the smart one who's snarky, right? And they say, you're supposed to smash that sort of person down, right? And I'm not really up for that, but I think they need to be pulverized, right? Trump needs to be on a permanent pummeling attack against the Democrats, against the deep state, right? Otherwise, what's the name of that prisoner episode? You must be hammer or anvil, and that's really the truth. You can only be hammer or anvil.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir.
Oh yes, this guy freaked out. Right, and he refused, and he had to be escorted out of the chamber because he's lying. He doesn't have the popular mandate. No, he does.
Take your seat. The chair now directs the sergeant at arms to restore order.
He's a big boy, that J.D. Vance, isn't he? Look at him.
Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
I could find a cure to the.
The speech in many ways was brilliant because this fucks over this is a 1-2 punch that fucks over the Democrats in a way that's fantastic, right? It really is.
I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, and these people sitting right here will not clap.
Look at him. Musk steals. What's he stealing? He's the richest man in the fucking world, you fucking moron. What do you think he's stealing? Again, look at them. Look at these sour-faced they're fucks. And they are fucked, right? They are so fucked. And it's great. And it's great you pointed that out. Because what happened next?
Will not stand and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even...
and again, another thing I think me and most people liked about this, he told the fucking truth. He told that Biden was a fucking disaster, right? It was an absolute disaster in every way, shape, or form. He's the worst, and he pummeled him, right? Much the same way Biden pummeled Trump, but Trump's doing it better.
In the history of our country, they're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again. Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control.
And I love that. I love that he's putting the price of eggs on the Democrats because it's their fault, right? But he let everything get out quick. It was a disaster. Again, the people who are still saying Orange Man bad, I mean, fucking hell, really? What else? Like, what else do you need? At that point, you're completely insane, right? You are completely bonkers.
The egg price is out of control. And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency. Go!
Oh boy, and do they hate that? So a weird thing is going on with that. And it's so needlessly complicated and bizarre, right? I have no idea what was going to do. Actually, I'll tell you my guess what's going to go down with it. So they found billions upon billions upon billions of like literal fraud going out through USAID, like so much so they're talking about giving criminal referrals to the DOJ, which means people are going to jail. Right? Okay, Donald, you look like you're in a gay porno version of The Invisible Man. That's better, thank you. Oh, that's so much better. Although that will be Mike Johnson's expression if he was in a gay porno version of The Invisible Man. Weird coinkydinks. Anyway, fine. So there were two within the money that they found and they stopped payments on were $2 billion. For things that have already happened, but the things that already happened are like, okay, well, they go to things like like a foundation for lesbian arts in Peru. What it really is a shell company for the CIA to pay off politicians. That's what they're not really doing. Lesbian, I mean, they're doing the lesbian shit because the CIA are full of perverts, right? But I mean, not saying lesbians are perverts, obviously. Honestly, some of my best movies. Feature lesbians, right? Absolutely. In slow-mo, if you're lucky, let me tell you. Anyway, although I would avoid HD. HD is not pornography's friend. That's in my humble, estimation. Anyway, there's $2 billion. So Trump put a freeze on that payment, right? Again, this is stuff that's already happened, right? So Trump put a freeze on that payment. So then this lower court in Washington, I think, or Virginia, put a freeze on his freeze, right? Which means they put a temporary freeze on his freeze of the payment, which means they had to pay it, right? So then he appealed to the appellate court, and they said, well, we don't have jurisdiction. They end up going to the Supreme Court. Very surprisingly, the Supreme Court sided against Trump. Right, which I think is ultimately going to work out for the best myself. But and they said they can't intervene. They don't want to intervene, so it has to go back down to that lower court, which is saying you have to freeze your freeze. Right, but the dissenting opinions were like Alito and Thomas were livid. They're like, wait a minute, you're saying this is a temporary freeze, and it's so complicated. It's needlessly complicated. It's stupidly complicated. They're saying this is a temporary freeze. But you're not going to get the money back, right? If you give it out, it's not nothing temporary about it. So I don't know. There's, I hope Trump just pays it. Frankly, I think that would actually be too good for him. I think if he doesn't, you'll get the narrative of he's like upending the Supreme Court, defying them, and it's the end of all law. So I hope he just pays it. What I would hope he would do more is say, okay. I don't think this like a federal judge can outrank the president of the United States. So here's what we're going to do: we're going to put the this money into escrow or something, and then we'll say you can be paid from this account. Anybody who takes the money from that account will then have a forensic IRS audit of what they're doing and audit of all their employees. Right, and whatever they find, as they delve deep into rectum, and they will find shit, right? If they will find fraud, if they will find malfeasance, which they're definitely going to find, then they're going to prosecute you to the full extent of the law, right? Not only that, if you take the money, then any visas they can cancel, they will. Right, and whatever they can do to make your life miserable, that is what they're going to do. That's what I would like him to do, right? Find a legal way around it. But that was somewhat surprising. Anyway.
Go.
Oh, yeah, Dodge. Dodge. They are freaking out about Dodge.
Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
I know. Like, why are they so freaking out about Elon Musk? It's like they loved him when he was a Democrat. It's so weird, right? Elon, no, you look like Lurch, mate. Don't
Because we are draining the swamp.
They really are this time. Me. Again, the only way to drain it is to keep them too busy to even think.
It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over. April 2nd.
And that's what they keep calling Elon Musk.
Reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Since taking office, my administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in America.
Yeah, I mean that worked out very well, right? Again, everything depends on the economy.
American history. The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president. I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Today,
I like it when he says he's working tirelessly. I love that he always bigs himself up.
I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine.
Right. You had to go for an hour and a half before you got to this. So eventually he said, Zelensky folded. I said, well, we will do anything. We will suck your dick. I think basically that's what it says.
Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. It's time to end this senseless war.
Oh, it's so time to end the senseless war. It really is. And yeah, I wish... The trouble is, especially in England, Putin has been built up into be this big bogeyman. So you go, oh no, he's going to be emboldened and he's going to eat children. Oh God, he's going to fry us all in the wok. Don't give us the Putin. No. Well, he's a tough bloke. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't get on the wrong side of Putin if I was you, right? That would be my advice. But I think he just wants his international shipping, right? I think that's all he wants.
If you want to end wars, you have to talk to both sides. My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future because the golden age of America has only just begun. It will be...
I mean, that's the thing. I really believe this time next year, we're all going to have a lot more money.
Like nothing...
I mean, not you in England. You're up shit creek, I think. But everybody else.
...that has ever been...
I mean, and nobody in Europe also, obviously.
...been seen before. Thank you.
I mean, Africa's probably fucked as well. Okay, America's probably going to do okay. America and Israel.
God bless you, and God bless America.
Again, I really love that he unapologetically thanks God, right? Oh, God, I wish Jews were like that. But they missed out my favorite bit, right? And I'm just a softie, so I fall for this stuff. But I thought that there was a lot of moments like this, which I thought were truly, truly beautiful, right? So yeah, so this kid, he had brain cancer, all right, and I think Trump's about to tell him his story.
But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
Stand up, kids, stand up. Have you noticed they stopped saying he's a racist now? Because you just can't pull it off. Right? You really can't pull it off. Or a sexist, because, you know, like, it's so many women as a cabinet. You know? And look at this sour fucking faces. And again, it's all these people that are Jews, and it makes me so embarrassed. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, ugh.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer. Actually, a number of times, the police love.
He was being bullied, and then he got like adopted by the police.
Him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
This is the sort of shit I like, okay? I'm a big Swiftie. I love this shit. Oh, God, this tweet is like sweet like honey. It makes your heart melt, right? It makes your heart melt. Unless you're a Democrat, they sit there scowling at you. Disgusting. So again, that's the Trump I love, right? And I think Trump is I mean, like, he's getting, I'm biased of him, but I think he's on his way to be truly, if he gets the economy kick-started, which I think we all think he's going to, I think he's going to be truly beloved, right? This is him meeting that kid in the Oval Office.
Good-looking family, huh?
There's one more thing I got for you, a big hug.
Okay, good. That's very nice. Look at that family you got, huh?
Yes, sir.
Very nice. How are you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. That was a big evening last night, right?
Yes, it was.
That was a big evening.
I just love how he makes time for people. Honestly, I do. I genuinely like the guy a lot. Okay, here's another thing. Oh, that I liked a lot. So this is, I'll show you this in sequence. So this was a new truth that he truthed the other day. And again, I love this. All federal funding will stop for any college, school, or university that allows illegal protest. And it's happened apparently yesterday. So I wonder what's going to happen. Agitators will be imprisoned or permanently sent back to the country from which they came. American students will be permanently expelled or, depending on the crime, arrested. No masks. Yes. Fucking cowards. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And this is Trump talking, right? So, do you remember Friday? They had a little conflab with Zelensky. Didn't go down so well, right? Didn't go down so well. Now, I think really, if I was meeting with Donald Trump, the number one thing I would want him to do is feel like my meeting elevated him, right? Made him better, in a sincere way, because I think that's what he responds to. So some of the hostages, and it's horrific what they told him, met with Trump in the Oval Office. And again, I apologize for the schmaltzy music. I really feel it's super unnecessary, right? But what can you do?
Take it on October 6th. Yes. So this was hell, huh?
It was the worst thing that anybody can go through. One of the days they handcuffed one of the boys that was with us, and when he came, and he brought a cutter, and he cut his hand and smiled. They used to eat in front of us while they starved us.
It's a miracle.
That you're living.
Yes.
Yeah, and again, look, I just think he's a moral person. I do. And I might be wrong. I might be delusional. I know. But I really genuinely do. I think this stuff moves him a long way.
I was kidnapped on 7 October. My wife and my 2 daughters being murdered on the same day. I was held.
Yeah, he found that out after he got out. Poor bastard.
In captivity 491 days. I've been suffered there from starvation, violence, and humiliations daily. One time, they broke in my ribs, and it was so hurt that I couldn't breathe for 1 month. Thanks to President Trump, I'm a free man.
Yeah, this is the important thing. Thank you, President Trump. I mean, really? Really? Why do you think? I mean, other than he agrees with us completely, right? But why do you think things go better for Israel than in Ukraine with Trump?
Hug my mother again. I can hug my brothers and sisters.
And honestly, I think he thinks about that, right?
I was moved 33 times, spent time in tunnels with no air to breathe, barely food, hardly any water, saw horrific torturing of hostages that I spent time with, and I am so grateful and thankful to be here because of President Trump and the administration's great efforts.
As you know, they're all being released right now. We have so many hostages just waiting to be released.
My little brother, it's still in there.
My family.
Yeah, this I think is carried a major punch.
We believe you've been sent by God to release them.
We think they could get.
Believe me, I think that's lit a fire underneath it, right? I really do. I mean, not they really needed one.
Out thanks to you.
Yes. We are here because of you.
We're alive and free people because of you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thank you so much.
That's unbelievable. What a story. I've never had anything like this. I mean, I've saved a lot of people, but I've never seen anything like this where...
I've saved people, but you're the best! You're the best at being saved! This is why I like Jews, okay? Zelensky, let's watch this! Bit more of this, bit less of... Where's my 350 billion?
You lived under those conditions. Horrible stories. Not even believable.
Thank you.
We'll get them out.
So, and the White's out releasing that. Okay, fine. They can put the schmaltzy music on. I'm fine with that. So that followed up to this, right? And I think shit's going to hit the fan, right? I think, look, next Friday is a big Jewish holiday, and I think that's when they're planning the offensive. Although both my sons are home, so I'm quite happy about that. Shalom Hamas means hello and goodbye. You can choose. Release all the hostages now, not later, and immediately return all the dead bodies of the people you murdered, or it is over for you. Only sick and twisted people keep bodies, and you are sick and twisted. I am sending Israel everything it needs to finish the job. Not a single member of Hamas will be safe if you don't do as I say. Oh God, yes, Donald. You know why? Okay, you know you had me at keeping men out women's sports, but this is above and beyond, mate. This is your last warning for the leadership. For the leadership now, it's time to leave Gaza while you still have a chance. Also, to the people of Gaza, a beautiful future awaits. But not if you hold hostages. If you do, you are dead. Oh, shit. Let me say the people of Gaza. Make a smart decision. Release the hostages now, or there will be hell to pay later. And it's not like the Donald, right? It's not like the Donald is known for fucking around, right? Especially not Donald 2.0. So I think I have no idea what's going to happen, right? I have no idea what's going to happen. But, you know, listen. It's not only Jews and Israelis that love Donald Trump, and we do. We love Donald Trump. The cats! Don't you remember they're eating the cats, right? Twitter, that's that song. They're eating the cats. I love that. Where is it? Yes, they eat the dogs, right?
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. They're eating the dogs.
So that was an anti-Trump song. They couldn't even make an anti-Trump song, anti-Trump. So, you know, that was about the time. Remember when he did that photo op at McDonald's? Not many people know this, right? Not many people, and it came out now, and we have new video footage of it, that he worked out a animal shelter program with McDonald's. It's incredible how it works. But I think they're going to be safe from being eaten. Here, let's check out the video of it. It's where is it? Hang on. Not there. Oh, I don't right in front of me. Where'd it go? There you go. There it is.
Thank
and
you.
they're so happy in their work. There is no American, right? That is not being helped by the British. Even the cats fare very, very well. Yes, the gainfully employed gets himself a nice steak, right? That, ladies and gentlemen, is of course Donald Trump's America. Fine, let's get to the chat. That genuinely made me laugh. Okay, I have to say, I had genuinely made me laugh. Anyway, we go Shetsbury, Doik. Where are we up to? A bit of a Verado see-through. Verado see-through has been actually quite good at the old thumbnails of late. I feel bad she's only going to be in 8 episodes of Doctor Who, and then never to be seen ever again. Sorry, Verado. You know, what can I tell you? What can I tell you? The most exciting thing about the trailer was shooting a bowler hat. Actually, it was. Right, I think we call it the what? What's the thing you remember? Shooting a bowler hat, and amazingly, he looked pretty good. I wish that pinstripe suit was his regular costume, not like I don't know the gay shit he always wears. If they went with something more like this, people might actually watch. No one's gonna watch your fucking show, mate. And I tell you, that trailer looked fucking good. But like the drag fact you can't get over is shooting Gatwa. No one is watching that trailer. Doctor Who area constructors make another incredible leap. Oh my god, you wait till you see this. This is really genuinely incredible. When will the BBC take notice? Yeah, the BBC are arseholes. Right? Maybe they're like the arseholes who hate AI. Probably. That sounds right. The horror of writing for Star Wars. I hope we get to that. Well, who was it? Guy that did Peaky Blinders. Talked about his nightmare ride trying to make a Rey movie. What's that guy's name? I'm watching a show of his right now. It's really good. It's on Disney Plus, but what can you do? 1,000 Blows. Stephen Knight, right? Stephen Knight. Yeah. So yeah, I would really like to get to that. And Daredevil Born Again still woke Disney. It's still woke Disney. That maybe we'll start there. Also, I really want to look at the trailer for Andor, which looks excellent. Oh, actually, might start there. Maybe we'll start there. I know, but it looks really genuinely good. So who knows, right? Who knows? It might actually be good. Although Daredevil's shit, you know. Every time I go, oh, it might be good, it's always shit, right? It's always shit. I don't know, and I'm people are praising Daredevil. I don't really understand why. To me, it seemed pretty woke. Right? Me, it seemed like a pretty woke reinvention, and not a particularly good one at that. And like Daredevil was actually a character that I know quite well, right? I read the Frank Miller run and the Bendis run. I think the Brubaker run. So like I'm pretty familiar with the character. Anyway, where are we up to? Amaro, going to miss the beginning of the show. Well, it's okay. We're in the middle now. And you're going to be out buying plum trees. Well, okay then. I'm sure there's a good reason for your plum trees. Okay. That sounds like code. Apparently, Nakuti is spelled wrong, pronounced wrong. It should be Rwandan Nashuti. Oh, okay, whatever. Again, he's only got 8 more episodes, and he's gone. Right, then he's gone. Colin says, click language. I cannot in any way, shape, or form do that. It says, got an OT for the starters. So I watched the new Jodie Whittaker drama, and the first few scenes she gets to do a very passionate kissing. Blah! Blah! Although she's doing very well in it, right? I tell you, if somehow that Jodie Whittaker gets like into a hit and becomes like a star, right? She's going to treat Doctor Who like Martin Clunes, essentially. And he's like, oh god, everyone they show again, and that was a great story, Snake Dance. It was such a good story. No. Darren Evans here, Darren. Thank you for joining us. Is it Lindsay Morgan or Emily Bett Rickards? Well, Emily Bett Rickards, I know from The Flash, and honestly, not enough boobage for me, right? Yeah, so pretty girl, but so that's out. So let's go straight to, hang on, what's her name? Who are we looking at? Lindsay Morgan. And also, she's like older than Emily Bett Rickards, isn't it? Lindsay Morgan. Okay. I'll share the screen, but I'm going to say this is probably a neither. This is a neither. Doink. Share screen. Okay, totally Lindsay Morgan over Ellie Bet Rickards. Again, I mean, the boobage is important to the Rabbi. What can I tell you? Yeah, look, she's clearly an attractive woman. Here, let's see what Emily Bet Rickards. Yeah, and she didn't even look that good in her prime, which is quite some time ago. All right. Okay, so here's what she looks like now. All right, I mean, look. Good for that, like playing like a boxing kind of role. That probably sounds like a good idea. Doing the femme fatale cutie, no. Right? Yeah, who is Lindsay Morgan? Definitely more bangable. Lindsay Morgan's an American actress. She's in CW science fiction drama 100. Yeah, I never watched any of that stuff. There you go. Yeah, okay, so definitely Lindsay Morgan. Thank you, D. Inquiring minds needed to know. Share screen. Boink. There you go. So where are we up to? Also, we got the Alien trailers to look at as well, which also looks pretty interesting. Have you seen the entire Daredevil or just the first episodes? I just saw the first one episode and I'm out. Right? I asked because quite a few reviews are praising the whole thing. I saw the first episode and I'm really not interested in seeing anymore. Yeah, I'm really genuinely not interested in seeing anymore. Tzvi Lebetkin, indeed, anecdotally, pomp and tradition seems to be one of the biggest tourist attractions for the Americans. Yeah, they love pomp and tradition. They do. Duncan Evans is here. Duncan Evans. Hi, all. Missed yesterday's stream about 7 box set. It was too busy. Well, actually, it was a video. Don't worry. There's you can't get more, baby. Sie hodem say T Tatas. Sie hodem T Tatas. How you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us. Long time no watching. How you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us. And who else we got? Man, we got about 10 people on the Rumbles. That's good to know. And he was there to do it on camera. How did the devs react to that? I wonder what we're talking about. What was I talking about? Debbie has a romaine noodle hair. She does. I'm just embarrassed by her. I thought these people are looting us. The least they could do is invest in high quality. No, they like looking crap to rub it in our faces. I think, right? He's probably more qualified than the DEI hires recently. Well, I have no idea who that is. And it was on camera. How did the devs? I did badly, right? Yeah. You want to see how the devs reacted? Yeah, what's this video? Also, I want to look at these new Star Trek toys. They look awesome as well. Where is it? Nuskers? No. Did I delete it? Where is it? Is that it? No, I don't know. Oh, here we go. Yeah, we won't watch a second of this, but this is how they reacted.
The President of the United States.
Let's get it.
The people elected me to do the job, and I'm doing it. And we are just getting started.
I'm just enjoying the defeat of evil. You know the only thing they cheered for is when they sent $350 billion to Ukraine. Really? If Azerbaijan and Destiny had a bitch fight, there would be handbags instead of boxing gloves. Again, you see, sounding like what's that show? 1,000 Blows. I'm at 3 episodes in out 6 episodes. Very much enjoying it. They were cute AI cats. I agree with you. Where are we up to? Jonathan Cox is here. Jonathan Cox. Talking about the kid being made a Secret Saver agent. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that was so cute, right? Ronald Meek's here, and he loves his juicy plums. Well, I bet you do, darling. I bet you do. We've all heard this about you. Where shall we start? Okay, let's start with these Star Trek toys, which look really interesting, right? Look, it's just going to show you, you can't, start. No matter how badly they make Star Trek, you're still going to love it. I'm sorry. When you see good Star Trek, you see good Star Trek. Look at that, a Tuvix figure. Man, $28. That's kind of wild, right? But I love the idea of doing a Tuvix figure. Right, I remember that episode really quite well. Tuvix over They should have, what's the name? The him and Shran and all the characters he played. Right, you should have a what's the guy's name? I can't remember. You should have a like a range of he played a bunch of characters. Mirror Universe Archer. Well, he's not from the Mirror. That's when he was in the. Oh, he is the Mirror Universe Archer, right? Captain Jellicoe. You didn't think you would ever get a Captain Jellicoe, and I think the fish tank goes with him. Still, these are expensive. $30 a pop, right? These are very expensive, but they look great. They're fantastic sculpts. I think the fish tank is its own thing, apparently. Midshipman Peter Preston. Oh, he stayed at his post with the other cadets ran. I know. Captain Sulu with his action cup of tea. Fly it apart then. Well, I'm actually giving him too much gravitas. Oh my. Captain Rachel Garrett. I've been a bit overused, a little bit with Star Trek Picard and the current era Trek. But okay, whatever. I mean, one episode fine. And this one I found a really interesting choice. Valkyrie, right? So she was the one who got the Genesis device information for Christopher Lloyd. Valkyrie, right? And I remember she had a great cleavage then as well. Oh, you can get the Genesis device. Does the thing pop out, right? And you can reenact Ricardo Montalban's, did he? From when he's quoting Moby Dick from Hell's Heart. I stab at me. That'd be awesome. So I think these look really fun, right? I think these look, and they're called nacelle toys. That's pretty good. I mean, it looks like they love Star Trek, but they're very expensive. But it's very expensive, but I would like them. Might skip Sulu. Oh my. Yeah. He's a bit bonkers. So let's look at the Alien Earth trailer. So okay, Alien Earth is the next iteration of Alien. I found Alien Romulus, right? I found its strength was also its weakness. In that, if I was going to review it, I would say it's mostly harmless, right? I think the mark of a great Alien movie is innovation, right? And they always try and innovate and do, on the best ones, they try to innovate and do something new. Which is the run? I got two trailers here, which I don't think they did it in Romulus. Romulus felt more like the plot of a interactive Alien exhibit that you could go through, like an Alien ride, right? With all the greatest hits of Aliens. That's why you had Ash in it, right? And again, for me, it lacked any form of innovation. I mean, Alien was massively innovative in that. It was a space truck horror in space. Aliens, we'd never seen action like that before. Like sci-fi, and it was fantastic. Alien, the David Fincher movie, they went through many iterations, and they're all pretty weird. But I kind of like the one they came out with, especially if you get the box set, right? And you got the collector's edition. Alien Resurrection is where it started to run out of steam in my estimation, but still they were pushing it forward with new filming techniques, right? And I think Joss Whedon did the script for that one. And I think after that, yeah, there was Alien vs Predator, but they weren't really alien movies. That's why I kind of like Prometheus and Covenant. I really like those two movies, right? Which seem to be on the cutting edge again, seem to be innovative once again. Anyway, so now it's Noah Hawley. Now Noah Hawley's got is the creator and director of the show, and he's a talent, right? He's a talent who's done a lot of good stuff. He's done the show Fargo, which I really, really strongly recommend. It's a very clever, contemplative show. By the way, if you watch Alien 3, it's worth watching. You should. There's a whole subplot with Paul McGann they cut out, which made it so much better. So he did that. He also did the excellent show Legion. Look, he's got good form, right? So I got two things here. I'm not sure which is the right one. Let's start with this one.
Why can't we?
Oh, this is the general FX trailer. FX is on Hulu, which is on Disney Plus if you're outside of America.
Put everything that we have into everything that we can.
I always wanted to watch that show, The Bear.
Yes, chef. Did they really say that?
All right, we're gonna get a clip of it here somewhere in this thing. I can agree with you. Dying for sex. I can relate.
Are you on some kind of sex quest? A sex quest? You want to come to my room?
I'm always on a sex quest, baby. Always.
Not quite the outfit we discussed.
So dress up.
Dress up, not dress like you run Gotham City. Sometimes I feel.
So again, this looked like a really good show. I like the guy who started it, but it looks like he's gone. He's been replaced by a black chick now.
I feel like your work family is like part of your.
Alien Resurrection was a masterpiece compared to Robin. Well, yes, I absolutely it was. I agree with you.
Family.
When the monsters come, all you can do
Yeah, Alien
is scream.
There's probably one really true thing. You are never alone.
Oh yeah, that guy. I can't remember his name, but he was in Shameless, the American Shameless, which I massively prefer to the English one. Yeah, so it must be the other one. Alien and Aliens in 4K is incredible. That's one of the reasons I keep Disney Plus. Right, I have 4K streaming Alien movies. It's fantastic. I agree with you. Oh my god, and it's so good. So let's try this one. Then. Must be this.
I want you to create a superior species. One that obeys us. One that controls everything.
If we don't stop them here, there's no Earth left to save.
Okay, this looks cool. Well, so when does it say? It seems to no. What's that? I want to create an alien species. What's his name? He played an old guy in Prometheus. Guy. Oh, sorry, I can't remember. Not Guy Ritchie. Anyway, but he's the one who created the robot played by Magneto. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll just look up. Fine. Guy Pearce, and I'm gonna look up Prometheus. Man, 13 years old that movie. That was a long time ago. Michael Fassbender, right? He made the Michael Fassbender droid, right? Who then went on to make the actual aliens. Do you think that was him talking to that? Because I think this is going to tie in the Prometheus stuff. Now, it's got a helicopter, which means it feels like it's maybe not that far in the future.
We need to stop this experiment before it's too late.
Okay, that is an android. Okay, that is an android. I'm going to guess.
This experiment before it's too late.
Its DNA has the ability to make human immortal.
This creature coming to the Earth is not a coincidence.
They're spreading.
Right, one second. See this? This all looks like from Prometheus, right? Because at the end of Prometheus, you had the spoiler alert from a movie, I'm 10 years old. You had the Michael Fassbender robot. There was 2 Michael Fassbender robots in Covenant, right? And again, I really like Covenant. So you had like one with an American accent and the evil one who created the aliens, right? Out of Numi Rapace, I think. So in the end, it's got a good horror ending in that you think they get away from the evil Michael Fassbender and they leave him alone on the planet with the aliens. And as the last survivor is going into hypersleep, she realizes it's actually the evil Michael Fassbender, right? And then he like coughs up. He's got a couple of aliens, I think an alien queen encased in something like this, right? As part of their DNA package. So again, this looks very similar to me.
They're spreading faster than we can contain them.
You don't know where this ship came from.
So it's certainly in Alien timeline, right? They get the aesthetic pretty right.
Or why it's here. But what's inside?
Yeah. That 100%. That's what you saw. There was a facehugger at the end of Covenant. Not Covenant of Covenant, right? Because I know they were going to do another. They were supposed to do another movie that tied it into the original Alien. So I don't know. Okay, again, Noah Hawley, I think is a talented guy, right? Noah Hawley, generally speaking, knows what he's doing. So this one, I have some hope for, right? Mainly because it's off the Disney brand. Being off the Disney brand helps it a lot.
It's changing us.
Yeah, it looks like it's tying really into Prometheus. Alien Earth, okay. I don't see how it could really work with the aliens coming to Earth, but that's also I will absolutely be reviewing. Here, let me pull up a picture for for Daredevil Born Again. Daredevil Born Again. Doing. Images. What's a good one? Born Again poster. Oh, here you go. Doing. Is this a good? Let me find something high res. And again, look. I mean, I this is a character I really know very, very well. Right? Here, that looks better. Here it comes. Where is it? Come here. Come on. Download. You can do it. Or maybe you can't. I don't bloody know. Okay, save image as. We'll do that. Okay, fine. Now it downloaded. Thank you. Mazel tov. Blessings on your head, mazel tov. There we go, doink. Scream. So, Daredevil Born Again, right? I understand a lot of people have seen the whole show. A lot of people have seen. I've only seen the first episode, and I wasn't sucked in to watch it any more than that. Now, I like the character a lot. The failing of the Netflix version of it wasn't quite comic booky enough, right? Jessica Jones was way worse. Way worse. It was there was no mention of it being superhero at all. But with Daredevil, it was nearly there, but it wasn't quite superhero-y enough. Like the first season, it took the whole season to get into his costume. And the second season, it was weak again for other reasons. So what they did get right was the casting. The casting was spot on of Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio. Right, he is fantastic in that role, right? Absolutely fantastic. And Charlie Cox as Daredevil. Again, it really epitomized what Matt Murdock is, right? Really, it brings him to life And it feels like he's less leapt out of the pages of a good episode of Daredevil, like maybe drawn by Axel Maliv or someone, right? He really feels like a very authentic Daredevil. Equally, the three friends he had in the Netflix version, Foggy, I can't remember who was played by, and Karen Page by Jessica Adwell, who was in True Blood before it was shit, and also after it was shit, right? Foggy and Karen, yeah. So that was all really, really nailed. So this is not the same show, not in the same universe, but with the same stars, right? They basically try and take everything of the original from that worked in the Netflix version and Disney-fy, and it is very Disney-fy. So the biggest problem with this, it goes too far in the other direction at the beginning, and it's too comic booky. Like his costume, it doesn't feel quite as real, and it's a bit chintzy, right? And also, you can really tell what's going to happen. So, spoiler. It makes a cardinal mistake of every superhero adaptation of ignoring or going against the source material. So, the first thing it does, again, spoiler alert, is do they make reference to She-Hulk or Echo? Not in the first episode. The Matt Murdock, Daredevil is out with Karen Page and Foggy, and this like super ninja assassin appears, and then he gets into his costume. And very good Daredevil fight, not as good as the Netflix version, but definitely real, like trying to be rough and tumble and violent. Again, not as choreographed as effectively as the Netflix version. But still good, but it's still too Disney. But you can tell a mile away that either Foggy or Karen Page was going to die, right? And it didn't disappoint, right? But again, you could see it coming literally a mile away. You saw when you see them like the beginning. This is before the pre-title scenes when they're walking down the street, all laughing together. Hey, everything's great. Nothing can go wrong, and you know what's gonna happen. So then it's like it turns into a bit of a woke reboot of Daredevil, where now Nelson's Foggy's dead, and he's with this new ex-black DA or something, I can't remember, and he's got this. So they have a different law firm. My favorite character from Daredevil was Ben Urich, the like an all-season reporter. So that character's been changed into a young hip black girl with a like TikTok channel or something like that. It's which I don't think works. So again, don't go away from the source material. Add in new characters, but don't replace character. It doesn't work, right? It's not really explained where Kingpin's been. When Kingpin is introduced, Wilson Fisk is introduced, his wife is like handling the gangstery stuff, right? Someone's coming here. 1 second. Let me just reply to this guy because he never calls, right? So if he calls, it must be reasonably important. But where is it? It's here. Hi, I'm doing a live stream right now on YouTube and Twitter and Rumble. Nobody tell him that. What's up? There you go. So hopefully that'll placate him. Anyway, Wells up, so fine. So Vincent D'Onofrio has lost a lot of weight now. For some reason. Oh yeah, so he turns up and he's been away for somewhere and you don't know why or how. And in the first episode they don't explain it, but he's lost a lot of weight, so he doesn't have the same kind of like heavy gravitas that he did. And then it falls into like the same thing we've seen in media, especially in Big Finish, for like since 2017, an evil businessman becoming president or something like that. He's calling again, right? Dude, I just sent you a message and he's read it. I don't tell you. Should I pick it up? No, I'm not picking it up. I sent a message. I think you know what? I'm going to check this guy's website, make sure everything's okay. because that's normally what we were called about. But like, everything looks fine. Okay, fine. There doesn't seem to be anything like, oh, man, he's calling it. Dude, give it up. He's still calling. I think he's given up. Okay, good. That freaked me out. Hopefully he's seen the message. Anyway, well, fine. So he's an evil businessman, realtor. He's Donald Trump. He's Donald Trump who becomes president, and it's like, oh look, and he's a riff on how liberals view MAGA, Trump supporters, and like and how they're dangerous and they're going to be. Second season, they find out they're all queer. Well, probably the second episode. And I'm just bored with it, right? It's like it genuinely to me, it's very tired, right? It's gone backwards. We've gone over this road 100 times before. And it's, again, the Netflix version isn't much better, and this is better in different ways. Again, it's more comic booky, but I still prefer the Netflix version. I think the first season was probably the best, right? So that's how that's what I would say about that. Anyway, 1 second. Let me see if let me send another message. Doink. One day I'll learn the skill of being able to type without my saying what I'm saying, what I'm typing. Right? One day. Okay. Apparently not. 1 second. So doink. Where are we going to go to next? I wanted to actually look at the Andor trailer because it really looks excellent. To tell you, I was so surprised this looked good. Right? 1 second. Let's pull this up. Where do you go? Andor. Now, okay. Now, the first season was. Oh, 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Let's pull that off for a sec. So the first season of Andor, it was quite good, but the problem was that the first 6 episodes was just so much padding, right? It was the 6 episodes seemed to be, maybe 8 episodes seemed to be made out of deleted scenes, right? It's so much so that it was like a heist job at the beginning. Everything up until the heist is boring as hell, right? And it really is dull. I found it like really intensely dull. And it goes into like the minutiae and the ground level of life in the Empire. And I'm not interested in that. I want to see magic wizards with laser swords and shit. You know, that's what I want from my Star Wars, right? Some full stuff and everything, and not really enough of that, right? Unfortunately, right? So I found it crushingly dull. Then, about 2/3 of the way through the season, and I'm spoiler alert, the main character Andor ends up in a Federation prison, which is not. Is it Federation? No. Imperial prison, right? Same thing. And that from then on, it really picks up. It is really, really very, very, very good. But again, it was kind of a slow, methodical series about slowly putting together the building blocks for the rebellion, right? But it was way too slow for me. Anyway, let me bring in, another celestial entity, right? Who can. I think they saw this and I think they liked it. I'm intrigued to hear their take on the first season, and maybe you can watch something about the second season together. Then we got to look at the AI stuff, which is absolutely incredible. This next guest, unlike the kitty cats, who are awesome, is not AI. By the way, okay, 1 second. Just before we start, if you haven't already seen this, I think we're going to watch it again. If you remember, Donald Trump was on the campaign trail. He was working at McDonald's. At the same time, he was saying that they were eating the cats, eating the dogs. He worked out that there should be a sanctuary with McDonald's for kitty cats. And look what he came up with. Yes. Get them to work, baby. And they're so happy with it as well, right? They're happy little dogs. How do you not look? I can't remember why we got to that, but who cares? Let us introduce Dan Hash. Birmingham's King of the Geek Down. I did that backwards. I did Birmingham's King of the Geek Down. How you doing, Birmingham's?
Well, I can't top a kitty cat working at Mackey's. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Especially that one, right?
Yeah, it's very good. Very good.
Did you watch Andor's first season?
I watched probably the first 3 or 4 episodes.
Oh, torture! Really? Why don't you give yourself an anal fisting? That was like the worst.
It was well made, but insufferably dull.
Right. So 2/3 of the way through, the story picks up. Right. When there's a whole bank job they're doing. At that point, it picks up, and it's.
I mean, I was bored right from the start, but I picked up a bit when Verada Sethu appeared. I thought, oh, this is looking up. And then after about 20 minutes, you realise she's playing a lesbian and never cracks a smile. You think, oh, okay.
A lesbian in a burqa who never cracks a smile, right?
Yeah, so my interest dropped. I made it through to episode 3 or 4, and there was lots of it. It was intriguing in the right in the very corners, but not enough to justify. I looked at it, I thought, there's another 8 hours of this.
Yes, yes, exactly. Exactly. It was a good 3 or 4 part miniseries, and they had 12 episodes. And so interminably dull.
I'm going to go back to it.
It's worth it because of the strength of this trailer. Let's pull this up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, give us a blast of this.
Emergency broadcast. If you can hear me.
So this was a big thing they had going on about life on Coruscant during the rise of the Empire, and you had Mon Mothra secretly forming the Rebel Alliance.
Not who we were when we
started. Sorry.
She was good, the woman who plays Mon Mothra in this.
Yeah,
she was great.
And also was it Skellen Skarsgård or whoever who played the?
He was. As I say, all that stuff was intriguing, but I got the impression there was very little story, and it was all being spun out for as much screen time.
This would have been a great like 4-part series, and it would have been awesome. It would have been absolutely, but it was just too bloody dull.
Imperial ships are already landing.
We need to speak out. We need to stand up.
Is there no one who can help us?
We need a pilot. A soldier.
Everything I did for the rebellion.
Revolutionary movements.
So yeah, this to me feels much more like we're in the Rogue One, early Star Wars era, right? It really feels like I'm in that time.
Or spontaneously happening all over the galaxy. How those come together is the stuff of our story.
And I think that's a pretty good, interesting story to tell, right? Like, finally, they're doing something in the Star Wars universe that although is it too late?
It's
probably
worthwhile, and it's affecting in a way that the other stuff hasn't been, I think.
I mean, we all like Mando when that first came along, but man, they pissed that up as well.
See, I feel the same. I feel that the Obi-Wan series, in principle, was also welcome.
Yeah.
I think that the idea behind it was in the and so much about it was right. Where they got that wrong was the execution of it.
The problem with that show was the black woman, right, who was the star of the show. Who I wasn't interested in, and she wasn't that great an actress, and wasn't very, and it was very much filmed on the volume wall, and you could tell all the time.
Well, that's to me. I mean, I'd forgotten about the black sort of villainess stroke hero.
Exactly,
figure.
and she was the main character, right? She was literally the main character. And
I don't view her as the main character. The fact that I'd forgotten about her means that she probably wasn't as important as.
If you tortured yourself when rewatching it, she's absolutely the protagonist of the show.
But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, and I know that all the conversation out here when commentators was very much focusing on her because she did stand out. But with I didn't respond anywhere near as negatively to that as a lot of people did. I enjoyed the series for the most part, and that element didn't spoil it for me.
Honestly, I liked everything else
by the same measure. But she was a quite a large functioning part of it. But the fact that we're now a couple of years on, and I'd actually completely forgotten about her. And
exactly.
I remember Hugh McGregor. I remember the Darth Vader stuff and the little girl Leia. I totally forgot about everything that was going on and that made up probably about a third of the screen time that I have just somehow completely forgotten.
Wait,
So,
do you remember the Jedi Hunters? Because they were great as well.
sort of vaguely, yeah.
They
I
were good.
remember the driving thrust of the story and certain set pieces and certain actors who turned up in it, but I had totally forgotten the stuff about that black woman. For me, she wasn't the main character. Obi-Wan was the main character. But
He should have been.
The reason why our attentions were focused on that black woman was because at that time, 2 to 3 years ago, there were black women in the dead center of everything we were watching,
right,
and so we were. I believe that our side to the culture war. How can I put this? We got the. Let's put it this way. I didn't, and I'm not naming names. I'm not having a go at anybody, but a great many people massively overreacted to that. Yes, it was a terrible actress. It was a terrible actress in an undercooked part, but it didn't ruin the series. What ruined the series was just as you described, that lack of tangibility, distinctiveness, and again, baggy storytelling. That was what ruined it.
I forgot about Baby Leia. She was awful.
I hadn't got an issue with that whatsoever. But for me, again, it was the pace of the storytelling, but what Andor had got that Obi-Wan didn't. And series 1 of Andor, even though I didn't stick with it, it did have flavor. It did
have flavor. It had what's that Robert Meyer Burnett word? Verisimilitude.
Yeah.
No, anyway. So here,
it felt like it belonged in Star Wars, and it had its own sheen somehow, its own feel to it.
You know what it was like? It was like a somehow Star Wars and a 1980s French art movie had a baby. Right, yeah. And that's how it came out.
Oh wow,
that stuff looks excellent, right? Doesn't that look cool?
Yeah.
If season 1 laid the track, then season 2 is the juggernaut.
The Empire cannot win.
Well, they haven't won yet.
We're building a real army.
The rebellion's everywhere now.
Galaxy of opportunities.
The insurgents have weapons.
By the way, do you remember this character from the first one? Because she was great. She was one of the highest.
Vaguely, yes. I remember her as being at a similar time. There was a very similar character in Star Trek Picard season 2 who became the Borg Queen. But this, she was played by. No, but I felt that they looked similar.
They definitely looked similar, although
they were. But this woman was a far better actress in a role which was a lot more nailed down.
I mean, this was very. There's elements of this that was like Les Miserables, right? The whole like you have this guy chasing over Andor for like years and years and years obsessively, right? But so she was she's an Imperial intelligence agent, and I'd like to see how they all sat down in their offices together. It was kind of so she was really good, right?
Have weapons at this point.
We're counting on it.
By the way, did you see much of this guy as well? Because he was really good.
I vaguely remember him. Again, this it's some of it's starting to come back to me a little. But I'm going to, if I'm going to watch this, I must watch season 1.
Oh yeah, no, you've got to. Okay, and it's going to be.
I can't remember.
But yeah, you have to. But he was like the head of the Imperial intelligence and like his methodical evil. It's really good, right? I really liked it.
Counting on it.
These 12 episodes are going to take us over the next 4 years into Rogue One. The complexity of the show, the possibilities of the show. It has to be all in.
Nobody's allowed in here.
Are you thinking like a thief?
I'm thinking like a soldier.
Think like a leader.
So I like this is taking you all right up to Rogue One, right? That again, it feels like now it's got a dramatic oomph to take.
I'm starting to remember why I found it hard to stick with the series.
Right.
It's Diego Luna.
Yeah. You're right.
Lots of star quality. Lots of star. I think he's got quite a lot of star quality, but unfortunately, I don't think he inhabits the part with the required width that's required. That's wanted to fill it. What's being asked of him as an actor in a show like this? It's one thing to get up in a 100-minute movie, swagger around a bit, wink at a girl, wave a blaster around, and ride off into the sunset or blow yourself up heroically. That's one thing. But to lead a drama which is as complicated as this, to be at the center of it over 8. What you said, 12 episodes, didn't he? This is over an extended period of time is a lot to put on any actor, and his presence wasn't enough to convey me from episode to episode to episode. Watching season 1, I think he was the reason why I might have bailed. I've liked him in other things. I thought he was great in Rogue One.
Well, it was an element to Rogue One. It wasn't like the entirety of the show.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. But this seems very Disney to me. This is like very Mickey Mousey.
It's got the ears.
Certainly. But I like this with the
size and scale of this production is
Now, unfortunately, I've seen that building before in Westworld, so I know it's in Argentina or somewhere. Spain, maybe.
unparalleled. The sets and the costumes are breathtaking.
Everyone does the homework. Everyone takes the time, and you can tell.
Proceed.
This is it. This is what you live for.
It's human. It's incredibly truthful. And it just happens to be in a galaxy far, far away.
It's the urgency of the situation.
I like Ben Mendelsohn. Again, I like Rogue One. I thought Rogue One was nearly a great movie. It was a little. It needed another polish. You needed to care a little bit more about the characters before they all died, right? But other than you have that like very fatalistic, the Wild Bunch kind of feel to it, right?
I think the problem with that film, with hindsight, and again, I really like her. I don't know if it was her or the character. The problem is Felicity Jones.
Yeah.
She's got a sort of purity about her, which doesn't. You see, now she's not like the girl boss type figure, but she's also. I just think they could have picked somebody with a bit more grit. I don't know. For me, it's her character that does it. The reason why it doesn't quite work. I don't know. I haven't watched it in quite a while. I've only ever seen it twice. I've never been tempted to go back to it. But
I did rewatch it to try and get more of a critical analysis of it a few years ago, and again, it nearly worked. It's so close to being there. But again, Ben Mendelsohn is great. So much of it is good, right? And
yeah, he's always great. Everything he does, always brilliant.
Yeah. He's always the best thing in everything he does as well.
Yeah.
He even made that Nick Fury's show. He was actually quite good in that too.
Oh no,
unlike everybody else. Have you seen Daredevil yet?
No. I'll probably watch it tomorrow and then talk about it on
I couldn't get past
Saturday.
the first episode. I did the first episode and I found it a bit of a slog for the last 10-15 minutes. Anyway,
I'll let you know.
Not palpable.
Lock it down! Right, that guy had a real 70s Star Wars face. Where is it? Then this guy, he looks like he's right out of A New Hope. Lock it down!
If we do not stand together, we will be crushed.
This is the end. Have no expectations.
And again, I like it's got dramatic thrust. Which show do you think is going to do better than Disney Plus? This or Doctor Who?
Oh, this by
a huge thing. Anyway, speaking of Doctor Who, are you keeping abreast of the advances in AI reconstructions?
Of course I am. You mean with Doctor Who? Doctor Who in the Mid-Journey is Doctor Who in the Mid-Journey again.
So this is the next thing I've got to show you. It is freaking incredible. I mean, I found this absolutely breathtaking. Now, hang on a second. So I've been following a lot of these, and there's a lot of different methods of reconstruction going on right now. Right, you got the Ian Levine stuff, which I think he gets the face movements very, very good. But for me, it doesn't feel like it was filmed. Right, everything's always a close up. Right, you don't get a feeling of movement on the set. Where then I saw, who was it? There was a Was it Wheel in Space one that came out about a couple of weeks ago or a month ago?
Yep.
Which was also, which again, you got that
CGI.
feeling, but you didn't get the feeling of the phases. So this one, I think, is closer than both, and a quantum leap away from what BBC is doing right now with reconstructions. Marco Polo. Well, I like how he downgraded the picture to make it like more 60.
Must have been made by a giant.
Now, is that AI or is that from the last episode or the cliffhanger?
I think it's a bit of both.
Because it's very
There's definitely AI on there.
That's from the last episode. You see how it jumped?
Must have been made by a giant. What do you make of this?
Well, it could be a perfectly ordinary footprint, Susan. And the sun's melted the edges and made it look a bit bigger.
So again, it's not perfect. I don't understand why the BBC is putting money into doing more animated reconstructions. They're not making any more right now, but they want to be doing several at a time. Like, it's just a dead technology.
They're doing those. The thing is, it isn't the BBC that's doing those. They're doing them to a defined brief with very limited resources by most standards. Quite a quick turnaround as well.
Completely. But why get this? Now it's a cul-de-sac. That to go further down that road is ridiculous because it's a dead technology. They haven't got the time. No. Yeah, I do. Largely, I agree with you. I think it's a pity they've taken so long creating and filling out that line that we've got to a place where they are becoming kind of redundant. It's great that they exist, and I want them to complete them all because I believe they are, generally speaking, a step forward. The stuff's accessible to people in a way that it wasn't before. But this is the next step on from that, probably several steps on from that. But of course, what MJ's got at his disposal is the luxury of time. Not just time as in sort of time in his everyday week, but the not being beholden to anybody else to deliver results. So he's got the elbow room to experiment with this stuff, to tinker, because all of this is a sort of proof of concept. Right.
So I'm sympathetic to the notion that I think to hold this up as a standard to the guys doing those animations, where I think it's a very different thing that's being asked of them. I'm very reluctant to tear one thing down and build up another because I think they're largely different things.
Honestly, I don't want to denigrate them. Some of them have been very good, but they haven't been good for a while. I'm sorry. The last one that was actually really good, I think, was Evil of the Daleks, and that was 10 years ago now. Something like that. It was.
You see what I'm saying though? They will have said, okay, can you deliver a 4-part animation to this standard, and they'll have had the proof of concept by August, for example, to this budget, and they'll go and they'll cost it. They'll recruit the people they need to, and then they will deliver just like the same way that anybody would deliver any other kind of product. And so,
you want to bring your costs way down? Just hire Callum Weston, right? That's him. What he's doing is better than everybody else put together. Just get him. He's excellent, right? He's excellent. Anyway, so let's keep watching this. Because there's a bit more. So.
You all right, Doctor?
Yes, a little bit out of breath. That's quite understandable. After all, we're several thousand.
Although I'd say Ian looks a bit like Steptoe over there. Sorry, Steptoe and Steptoe's son.
It's very hard to keep the likenesses consistent, isn't it? He looks like a man a good 30 years older than he is there. It's his likeness has shifted. His face has moved.
Right. Honestly, if I was a billionaire, I would put several $1 billion into this.
There'll be a way very soon. There'll be a way very, very soon of writing. Or I mean, if you were to have looked at Ian Levine, has just revised The Savages. You know, Ian's only been doing this for a year.
But he keeps going and going and going. He is he's a machine. But
With
yeah,
what
and
Ian's learned, what MJ's learned, both of them coming from two different positions, and what each of them have learned, they're starting to meet in the middle now. And then as you said,
I wish there could be some commercial thing that could bring all these people together, like Star Wars pulled together Industrial Light and Magic. There was a very good documentary about that on Disney Plus.
We're looking at a similar thing happened, and yes, nobody have a go. I know that people don't like them, but a similar thing happened with Bad Wolf and the Doctor Who, Daleks in Colour and War Games in Colour. So the numerous people who'd worked towards a similar goal, but using different methods, gradually they got to a point where, from across the globe, they realised we're all working towards the same thing, and we're all looking at it in slightly different ways. If we bring it together, Bad Wolf brought them all together and concentrated it all on one particular project. Now, regardless of your judgment on the product as it turned out, that process and that way of combining talent, focusing effort, is ultimately, hopefully, the way that this AI will also go.
If it does, then it'll be fantastic. Right, it'll be absolutely fantastic. And look, the golfing quality between the War Games and the Daleks was massive, and it was just 1 year. Right?
Knowledge, resources,
experience,
people's time, experience, and eventually you get a bunch of people on the right track to cover a serious amount of creative ground in a way that they probably couldn't have done independently, or certainly not for several years after that, because at some point you're always going to need to talk to somebody else. MJ has them at the advantage, really, because he works in the AI industry. This is something that he spoke about on my show, so I don't think he mind me repeating it. It's out there that he works in this field.
Any of the mods, or maybe if you can find the link to that interview with him, because that was great. That was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, my interview with him is on my channel in the as Type 40 Extra from just before Christmas. So I'll see if I can get you the link. Hold on, but bear in mind that I spoke to him just before Christmas, and he speculated about the idea of being able to do this.
Exactly, that was just 2 months ago. That's what blew my mind. It's like 2 months later, and he's coming up with a working, working version of it. Anyway, so what's his steptoe son? What was his name? Notwithstanding,
Wilfred Bramble.
I'm trying to think who he does look like. I can't remember. I'll think of it in a minute.
Feet above sea level.
Oh, I'll tell you who it is. The guy from Star Trek Discovery, the first season, Captain Lorca. Quite a famous actor. What's his name?
You mean Jason Isaacs?
Jason Isaacs. Yeah, he looks like Jason Isaacs right there.
Sea level.
Do you know where we are then, Grandfather?
Well, I directed the ship towards Earth, and it looks as though I've been successful.
But what about that?
That? Well, I can't see anything without my glasses. Anyway, I don't like this place. You'll have to excuse me. I've got a lot of work to do first, and then we must leave.
Barbara, I wonder. Do you think it could be the Earth?
Look at that. Wow.
If it were, where do you think we could be? In the Alps?
Oh, it could be the Andes.
That's really good, right? That's really good.
Himalayas. Roof of the world.
The roof of the world. I wonder. If only.
It's not
That's Ian and Barbara. That's
it. It really is, isn't it? Although Barbara looks a little bit hotter than normal after that. She looks pretty good.
Well, the doctor isn't very reliable, you know. Mustn't count on it.
Right, yeah, so this stuff I really like. What else he's working on. Yeah, more Marco Polo stuff. Just incredible. and that I thought was incredible as well. Is this from a New Adventures story? I can't tell.
Yes. Some of this is on the reel that he had as part of my show, but there's new things in as well.
This is from not the new. This is a missing adventure with Colin Baker. What was the name of the story? I can't remember. I think. Now, what would you prefer? A reconstruction like this, or like the photorealistic one? Because this you could really get away with right now.
See, I love, from an artistic point of view, I love stuff like this. But for me, that look there with the First Doctor, I'd love brand new First Doctor stories done like that, as animated, either animated movies or animated 4-parters done in that style. I'd love that. But for the purposes of
Big Finish stuff, you can take Stephen News.
But for the purposes of anything to do with the original material, I'd like to see them as close to what was transmitted as possible.
I hear. But that's a great thing with AI. You could just put a different skin on it. It's really mind-blowing.
True. Yeah, true.
No idea what this is from. Grandfather Time, maybe?
That's BBC Books, yeah. I didn't read them.
I think it's Grandfather Time. I love that. That's awesome. And this is awesome too. Tell you, War Within the Land and the Sea is not going to look as good as that. At any point, right? At any point, is it going to match that? And that was from the comic strip where the Flood, where he regenerates. And this is Spare Parts, the famous Big Finish audio.
This is this project he was working on in January. Spare Parts stuff. Wow.
He's got a Patreon now, and his levels are hasn't really worked them out yet. I think you put it in. So somebody else put it in the chat. Thank you very much. Speaking of Cybermen, in Spare Parts, which I thought was excellent, they just released was it Genesis of the Cybermen? What do they call it? One of the most unimaginable. Yeah, Genesis of the Cybermen by Big Finish. Now, did you have the Cyberman book where this comes from?
Yes, I've got a hardback.
Me too. Right back there.
For me that Christmas when it was 88, so I was 14, something like that, 13, 14. It was a present there from my mother for Christmas, and David Banks signed it as well.
Fantastic!
Yes,
and that artwork was fantastic. It's just fantastic. So if you've ever seen this book, it's wonderful. Right, you've got basically Andrew Skilleter is the driving force behind it. You've got this beautiful piece of artwork, but also you've got these wonderful info diagrams of how each different version of the Cybermen look, and a comprehensive cyber history which actually works and holds everything together. Also in the book is a synopsis of the Kip Pedler's Genesis of the Cybermen, which, spoiler alert, isn't very good. Right, I didn't find it. I think Spare Parts is so much better. In fact, something that amazed me. Right, let me see if I can pull it up. Is the Big Finish's Third Doctor and Joe Jones? Right, so the first box that they did, awful. It was like, whoa, shit. It was, and so I steered clear of the second one, and then somebody sent me one. And I said, I'll listen to it, and if I like it, I'll buy it. I got to buy it because it's a stealth Cyberman story with Mondasian Cybermen, and a lot of it takes place on like post Cybernized Mondas. So I was thinking, it'd be really, really good. There's a Judge Death, right? Judge Dredd, Judge Death.
Yeah.
So there was a really good series. Beautiful painted art. I can't remember who wrote it. Called The Fall of Dead World, which was like essentially what was happening on that world as it like collapsed, right? Taken over by the dark judges, and so it's a much more complex apocalypse than you initially thought, and it makes a lot more sense. I'd love to see something like that on Mondas, right? Of them like people struggling not to become cybernized, and it's a fatalistic story because they're all going to die, right? Nobody survives, or so. It'd be interesting with what they could do with that. Big Finish, there you go. I'll give you something. You're welcome. Anyway, this is a trailer for their adaptation, which I have no interest in, but let's see if they can pique my interest.
That settles that, shall we? Listen to me, all of you. We can't tell where we are or what's outside. I need you all to be very careful. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Doctor.
I wouldn't call this a lost story. I really wouldn't.
No.
He has returned.
That's so unchanged.
Yes.
It isn't fair.
Their secrets will be ours, my love. We will survive.
Yeah, it was like there's some like royal houses battling with each other, and one of them's into cyberization.
According to these, the orbit of this planet is decaying. Doctor, it's moving closer to the sun.
But what does it all mean? The end of your civilization, and the rise of something worse than you could ever imagine.
Like, I would like to see this AI used for this. I mean, although again, Big Finish are terrified of the wokies, and a lot of them work for them, and they all hate AI. Right? They all freak out about AI all the time.
Doctor!
Intruders, stop!
Yeah, the Mid-Journey stuff we saw was way better. They should have had him do this trailer.
Who are you? Why are you here? People of Mondas, this is your controller speaking. Our planet is failing. A fleet of vessels will take us to a new home.
I like how they're trying to tie it into...
Because that was an illustration in the Cybermen book. I mean, it looked very different, but the bare bones of it, the framework of it is the same. Because
Really?
I agree that with that story in the Cybermen book was... well, it wasn't a Doctor Who story. It was like something out of TV Century 21 or one of those.
Yeah,
from the
it
60s.
actually was.
You know, so it was fine in and of itself, but it wasn't a Doctor Who story. So I couldn't understand how they could take that and turn it into a Doctor Who story when, I mean, the Jerry Day, apparently he did sort of, it's not, yeah, it's sort of wrapped up one story inside another, isn't it? And I think a script was submitted in sort of part form. But they're on very shaky ground calling this line lost stories anymore. They have been for quite a long time.
It really is. Look, as stories that were nearly made, you've got to go to like a script breakdown before it's a lost story.
Yes.
Right?
In the solar system, we will survive.
Well, Steve Newman, by the way, I wasn't too happy with the last First Doctor release with Steve Noonan, and I reviewed it, so we complimented each other in the comment. My basic problem with it was, I think Steve Noonan is great as a First Doctor. I think he bounces off Lauren Cornelius as Dodo really well. They got a great relationship, and there wasn't any of that in that last release, right? I want to see them be the First Doctor and Dodo, right? It's a very archetypal, and they really were there. He assured me that the Companion Chronicles set coming out soon would be more to my liking.
Yeah, I have spoken to him. I'll speak to you about it privately.
Oh yeah, okay. And I kept saying on the review, I hate that I'm not being more positive about it. Right, I really hate that, but
he really appreciated your feedback. I don't think he mind me saying that. He really appreciated your review.
Okay, good. I felt really.
He did ask me to send his best wishes.
I genuinely felt not good about it. You're on tonight, aren't you?
We are. We're on. We're up. In fact, I better go and get myself washed. And I've been to the gym, and so I need to sort myself out.
That's like you'll never hear me say.
Hey, listen, whatever's wrong with you, mentally or physically, Jim will fix it.
There you go. I hear that.
Yes, so, but we are on later on. Yes, so the season 9 continues with this little beauty. Well, this big beauty. 1970. That's when we've got the older.
I'm so jealous you got your Blu-ray. Let me see where mine is.
I've got.
track it already because it's probably going to be about another week or so for me.
Here she is.
Oh, you're kidding, you little tart.
I'm brazen.
You are.
That's what. So we're gonna have a big old geek out about season 7 later. A lot of people coming on who are big Pertwee fans. I'm not a big Pertwee fan, but I've been over a 30-year period from when the VHS tapes first came out to now. I've sort of become very, very, very slowly converted to liking the John Pertwee era. So we'll be talking about it with myself. Simon's on and a few more people as well. A surprise sort of combination of voices. I think you're going to like it. And there's more fun stuff to get stuck into as well. Bang up to date stuff too. So don't.
Oh, Chris Jibble's got a new book out. Good for you, Chris. What else did I have to cover? Was there any other Doctor Who stuff? Hang on.
Do you know what? There's plenty Doctor Who stuff going on at the moment, and to the point where and I get, and thank you everybody who messages me and say, "Have you seen this? Have you seen that? What do you think of this? What do you think of that?" And if I could, I'd be on every day talking about literally everything. But it's just not possible. Got a limited amount of hours, so I have to cherry pick. What I want to speak about the most, and what the others will want to speak about the most. So there's lots going on, but there's almost too much in some senses. So
it's all sped up now. They just released this picture today. Who is this person?
Apparently, now that's what I asked Luke on my show on Monday.
Right.
I'd never heard of Freddie Fox. Turns out I have seen him. He's in House of the Dragon, but I didn't recognise him at all. So he's Amelia Fox's little brother. I can't bloody remember. But he's Amelia Fox's brother, which means that he's Lawrence Fox's cousin. He's part of the Fox acting dynasty. He's playing a villain, I think, in the next season. And they put a picture out of him here. An actor appears in a TV show. I don't really see why we have these big releases about literally everybody who gets cast in the show now.
It just seems like they're definitely trying to say it's going to be super exciting. We promise.
To be fair, it's not just Doctor Who that does this. They do it with like the Death in Paradise franchise. They do it with Call the Midwife.
Yeah, I know, because they think this people like this, and they don't. Nobody cares. Even
on social media. I mean, Doctor Who's slightly different because people do have an opinion about everything. But for the most part, I don't need to know the inside leg measurement of everybody who's about to appear in the series. And I've got nothing to say really about this guy. I'm sure he was probably great in House of the Dragon because I love House of the Dragon, so I probably thought he was great in it too. But as regards this guy's in Doctor Who, and whatever.
Really, generally could not care less. But I felt that way about the whole season. And again, it's the same thing as you said with Andor, right? What's the big problem with the upcoming season of Doctor Who? The main character, the main actor.
Yeah, I don't like being down on Diego Luna because I've seen him in lots of things and he's always been good, but he's never been the lead in any of them, or certainly not the literal lead where the show or movie is named after him.
Shooting Atwood just doesn't have the chops at all. I'm sorry.
Well, perhaps if it was a different kind of show, but Doctor Who, even to be the lead in Doctor Who means that you're on screen probably twice as much as the average lead in the average police drama, for example. If you look at any detective show on TV, I can guarantee whichever one that you're looking at, either a big American show or even a British show like Vera, whatever her name is, Brenda Blethyn, I think, I can't remember who plays Vera. Whoever plays that detective in that show will probably be on screen less than any actor who plays the Doctor in Doctor Who.
Honestly,
and he just hasn't got that.
I understand. Like now it's I think it was unfair, to be honest with you, to put such an inexperienced actor into this massive role, and it clearly didn't prepare him in any way, shape, or form. All right, just didn't. That's why it's.
No.
I just think it hasn't worked at all. Right? Did you see my thumbnail for today, by the way?
I only saw it very briefly. Thank you.
Let me just pull that up.
Right up my street. The blue in particular looks very good.
It does. Well, I found the most interesting thing about the trailer was shooting Gatwa in a bowler hat, right, and a blue pinstripe suit.
Oh, I get it now. This is even better. Brilliant.
Yeah, like I just wish they did one thing normal with shooting Gatwa, right? But for other things, it is working out very, very, very well. As you know, as a companion, I have to say, I'm quite
Very much works for me. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
And that's coming right after Millie Gibson, who, by the way, do you think she's growing her hair long in defiance? Because you're saying like, screw this. Because her hair is different now.
I think the hair could be because she's whenever. Oh no, that would have been before. I don't know. I don't know whether she was filming the period drama because she's in the Forsyth Saga as well,
right?
And her hair is sort of piled up. Well, yeah, and it's in various styles, so they will have required her to just have more hair to be in a show like that, so they can do more things with it. So it's probably the case that when she was making those Doctor Who's, that season 2, that it was kind of growing out, ready for whatever role she was going to take next, would be my guess.
Yeah, probably. That makes sense. Colin just said that Snow White has been premiere has been cancelled in the UK. It's doing so badly.
Wow.
Well, I was going to do a Snow White thumbnail for Saturday. But I was thinking, do I go with Nicola Bryant as the Wicked Queen or Millie Gibson as Snow White? And I thought, we go for both, baby. We go for both. So, come back for that. I'm going to make the thumbnail tomorrow. Fine. I think I'm going to head off into the sunset. Is there anything you want to plug other than your show?
Yeah, just over an hour. Be there on the Type 40 channel on either YouTube or Rumble. Or watch us on X, by all means. We get a lot of people watching on X. The people on X we get hundreds of people watching on X, but they don't say anything. Is they're afraid to be seen to be publicly interacting with us? I think that's what it is. But we get a lot of people watching over there.
So many weirdos. Again, there's one of the good thing about this era dying, because it's just like it's going to get quieter again. Thank God. Doctor Who magazine can just go back to talking about Doctor Who in a couple of years. I don't know. That'd be great. Fine. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up. I am back on Saturday night. Well, certainly it's Saturday night for you. It's Saturday afternoon. And we will do more terrible, terrible things that we will never admit in public. Fine. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hit the end broadcast button. I'm going to hit it. Oh, no, press the wrong button. No. We're going to hit the end broadcast button. We're going to hit it again.